and beyond.
Sergeant First Class Monty became the sixth service member to receive a Medal of Honor during operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Those who knew him say he was one of those guys who always put his soldiers first. Here's Sergeant Justin Kuhl to explain.
I think Sergeant First Class Monty was exactly the type of soldier that we need in our Army today. He was a soldier that pushed everything to the edge. He was a soldier that wasn't scared to make mistakes. He had no problem with authority and telling authority figures what his opinion was. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But yet the level of commitment that he had and drive for excellence was something that was clearly uncommon. And that's something that I probably remember most about Sergeant First Class Monty. I think the warriors of the 10th Mountain Division train until they forget. And what I mean by that is they strive to reach a level of excellence to where they can achieve unconscious competence. And what that means is they have the ability to react instinctively. And that's what real warriors need to have the ability to do when they face the enemy in the mountains of Afghanistan. And Sergeant Monty clearly had that capability, and he instilled that through his training program within the men that he led during that firefight. And that right there is the ultimate goal of every warrior and what they're required to do when they face the enemy. And he did that. And I think everyone with the 10th Mountain Division need to make sure that every day they try to achieve the same level of proficiency as Sergeant Monty did when he trained his men. That's what we deserve, or that's what he deserves, and that's what we need to provide him.
If I had the ability to create a mold to mass produce non-commissioned officers, it would look exactly like Sergeant First Class Monty. He trained his soldiers hard, he was tough on them, but he was compassionate. His knowledge was way beyond his years or his rank would suggest. And he had this way, he can motivate soldiers to accomplish any mission regardless of the situation or how hard the individual was.
Well, when I was informed that Sergeant Monty was killed, I mean, it touched me personally because of the relationship that I had with him. I've known him for quite a few years as he was growing through the ranks as a non-commissioned officer. And based on the location where I was at in Afghanistan, when he was killed, I was the one that identified his body. He was just a great soldier and a great human being. And his loss is something that will be felt forever by every warrior of the 10th Mountain Division.
This is only the second time a Medal of Honor was awarded to a 10th Mountain Division soldier. For hundreds of soldiers each day, this is a familiar face. It's Private First Class John McGrath. He is the first 10th Mountain Division soldier awarded the Medal of Honor, the year 1946. McGrath was a member of the 85th Infantry. His citation reads, "He displayed gallantry and went above and beyond the call of duty when his company was pinned down by heavy fire in Italy. Volunteering to act as a scout and armed with only a rifle, he killed several Germans, captured their machine gun, and continued to fire." Private First Class McGrath's brother and sister-in-law were on hand for the reactivation ceremony of the 10th Mountain Division's 385th. They also returned McGrath's Medal of Honor flag.
I never knew John. He was killed before I married his brother, and the first time I met him was when he came home from the war in a casket, and he was driven through the town of Norwalk on a caisson to the family home to be buried next to his mother.
What is a Medal of Honor? Well, it's the nation's highest award for military valor in action against an enemy force, which can be bestowed upon an individual serving in the United States Armed Forces. It's generally presented by the President of the United States in the name of Congress, and is often referred to as the Congressional Medal of Honor. There are three versions: the Navy, Army, and Air Force. The selected Medal of Honor design consists of an inverted five-pointed star. On each of the 5 points is a cluster of laurel leaves to represent victory, mixed with a cluster of oak to represent strength. The red, white, and blue ribbon was replaced with a light blue with 13 stars for the 13 original colonies. To date, there are a total of 3,447 recipients. There's only been one woman ever to receive the Medal of Honor. That was Dr. Mary Walker in 1885. World War I had 119. World War II, 464. Korea, 133. During Vietnam, 246. And Operation Iraqi Freedom 4 and Sergeant First Class Jared Monty is the second from Operation Enduring Freedom. The Medal of Honor is best described as an award for the bravest of the brave, and its goal is to ensure their memory will never be lost to future generations. There are 3,448 Medal of Honor recipients.
It's a sign of